This week, we continue our journey to the south.
Yesterday about mid-morning we said goodbye to our friends at Gaston's and headed south through most of Arkansas. Some beautiful country, rivers, bridges. We passed more water than we will ever fish on a trip. It's hard, it really is. You're passing beautiful water that you know are well-known fisheries.
But they have to stick to the plan to come on down to Lake Ray Roberts in Texas.
Sometimes you gotta leave beautiful places and come to another beautiful place. And Lake Ray Roberts has been gorgeous today.
They're pretty, yeah.
And plenty of fish.
Welcome to Hobie Outdoor Adventures. Each week, we'll take the Hobies and peruse the country in search of adventure, fun, and fish. Whether we're drifting a stream, dissecting a lake, or covering an ocean, we'll show you the tips and tactics to make your next trip successful. Come with us, set your sail, and discover what life in a Hobie is all about. This is Hobie Outdoor Adventures, Road Trip Edition. Keaton and Morgan really have a hard time leaving Arkansas. The natural beauty of the Ozark Mountains, the White River, and lots of rainbow and brown trout.
We left Gaston's, and to tell you the truth, I was a little bit bummed to be leaving there because we had such a great time in Arkansas. We caught those smallies on Crooked Creek, and then we caught some really nice trout on the White River. And I really could have stayed there for a lot longer. And then on the drive out, we must have passed 100 bodies of water, whether it was rivers or lakes. It was hard not to just pull over and offload the kayaks and get out on the water and try our luck. But we had a 10-hour drive, it was a long journey.
I always feel great when I get back into Texas. It's home, it's comfortable, and as pretty as every place is, you can't beat Texas for me. And we got in late, worked our way down to Sanger, grabbed us a hotel room on the fly.
Thank goodness we stuck to our plan, made it to the hotel, and got settled in for the night. First thing we did this morning is we visited the local convenience store and we got our fishing licenses. We bought some slabs, which are those heavy jigs that we're using to catch the sand bass, and grabbed a breakfast burrito and some coffee. Keaton came through, called a couple of buddies. We got a hold of Rob Milam, one of the Hobie fishing team members, and they let us know that there's some good sand bass biting, so we were really excited.
We are here at the state park, and we're launching right here. We're up close to the dam. We're sitting here. It's the fish are going to be transitioning from summer to fall, so they're not going to quite stick to pattern, but they're going to be close to where they've been, and somewhat off this little sand beach here. And there's some deeper points that stick out and protrude. So we're gonna fish 20 to 35 foot of water.
All right.
And we'll be searching a lot at first. We'll be using our Lowrances to find the fish, find the bait, and then hopefully we'll get some surface and we'll get the cast set on top as well.
First thing we see as we're offloading the kayaks with the launch ramp are a bunch of sand bass blowing up on shad right in the shallows, right in front of the launch ramp. And so I was hurrying, rushing to get all my stuff ready, tying on lures, and Keaton looks at me and he's like, "Don't worry about it, man. It's gonna be all day like that."
Morgan had never caught a sand bass before. And it's something that we do quite often, just for fun. Or when they bust up, we'll be bass fishing, all of a sudden sandies will pop up and we'll go catch them. But we'd heard, I've got a good friend out here that guides on the lake, and he said, "Hey, sand bass we're catching some 2-pounders every now and then." And we took that advice, went out, checked out on the Lowrance, found them, and once we found them, we started patterning the bait fish, then we could see the fish, and all of a sudden you could see these streaks going through our sounder where they're feeding.
We got on the fish right off the bat. They weren't really schooling much on top. We had to use our Lowrance depth finders to find the fish. As soon as we found the schools, it was one after another.
Some fun fishing. Morgan's hooked up, our buddy Rob's hooked up.
Yay! First sand bass.
Oh yeah, it's a little bit better fish.
Is that down deeper?
Yeah, I'm slabbing the bottom. Usually the bigger fish are gonna be below.
Okay. There's one too. Double hookup.
Yep, Rob.
Triple. It's a nice one too. You're barely hooked. All right, we got to keep count here, Keith.
Oh, okay. They're pretty little fish. We're gonna keep catching them, guys. Sand bass on Lake Ray Roberts. I thought we've each got about 3 and it's just started. We still have,
There you go, there's another
Morgan's
one.
hooked again. We found a great school here. Our Lowrances are lit up with color, and that means fish.
All right, I need an upgrade here.
This episode of Hobie Outdoor Adventures is brought to you by Power Pole Micro Anchor. Swift, silent, secure, and small. Lowrance, find, navigate, dominate with the new HDS Gen 2 Touch. And by Columbia, trying stuff since 1938. Welcome back to the special Hobie Outdoor Adventures Road Trip Edition. We are in Texas, on Lake Ray Roberts with our special guest, Rob Milam.
Oh, that's the nicest one of the day. We joined up here with Rob Milam, a regional fishing team member out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And Rob just happened to be coming out the lake and we saw him and said, hey, come fishing. Ah, hooked. You gotta love this, don't you? Hey, there's the catfish. What do you say? Morgan, I got a catfish.
Rob Milam is one of our best Hobie fishing team members. He's really well known in Texas for catching big bass. And he works with several of our dealers out here. He's really familiar with the Hobie product and also just a great person to share knowledge, to learn about anything. So it was a real pleasure to get to spend some time with him today on the water. And when Keaton made that phone call and let him know, I think that he was pretty excited to get to be a part of the road trip too. And I think I've got a technique for releasing them pretty easily too. Just take them on the pliers and turn them upside down.
Another catfish.
Lake Ray Roberts covers nearly 30,000 acres and is located 10 miles north of Denton, between the cities of Pilot Point and Sanger. It was named after Ray Roberts, a local congressman who supported creation of the lake in 1980. Lake Ray Roberts has evolved into a very productive fishing lake, growing in popularity among anglers. The current lake record for largemouth bass is 14.06 pounds. Crappie, catfish, and especially sandbass are also a good catch here. If you'd like to know about fishing regulations and updated water conditions, please go to Texas Parks and Wildlife website.
Oh, whoa, this is a nicer one. This is my sandbass of the day so far. Look at that, Keith.
Oh man, that's a nice one.
Nice little sandbass. Very cool little fish. Is that about as big as we're gonna expect him today?
Yeah, that's 1.5 pounds. They could get up to 2 pounds.
Might be a little nicer one again.
I want you to catch it. Oh yeah. I want you to catch about
Hobie.
a 10-pound catfish, Morgan.
I'm totally game for that.
You
Keaton.
game for that? How about those sandbass? Those are beautiful. It's a beautiful fish.
Yeah, they're pretty, huh?
See why we like catching these?
Talk to us, boy.
That's what a catfish looks like, Morgan.
All right.
You know, what I'm finding is that when my sounder gets a little lull in the actions when I catch the catfish, it's almost like they're kind of on the outside of those sandies.
Man, this is fun. Now I know what you're talking about.
And this is something, Morgan, where you could come out here every day for a month and do this if you wanted to. That's why, like Rob was saying, it's a great way to get kids started fishing.
Yeah. These things fight hard too for their size.
Oh yeah.
They hit hard, so that would be really exciting for a kid, you know? This road trip's been really, really fun. You know, the main focus was to try to hit as many states as possible, to try to catch as many species as possible, and also try the Hobies in different bodies of water like rivers, creeks, lakes, and really test them out and see how they work. We're really happy with the results, and they proved to be really great watercraft for fishing any body of water.
Hobie Outdoor Adventures Road Trip Edition will be right back. Welcome back to the special Hobie Outdoor Adventures Road Trip Edition. Our last stop is Lake Ray Roberts, Texas.
Oh yeah, we're getting some bigger fish here, Morgan. Here's a 2-pounder.
Right on.
I think we finally found some bigger fish. That's the thing, using slabs, we can get down lower than the school. And a lot of these bigger fish are under the school eating those wounded shad like I showed you a while ago. And that's a nice sandy little GoPro action right here where you go back in the water. So what's really important is the size of your lure. So like here's a little clear, the Zara puppy. And I'm walking the dog with this. I've got 6-pound test. I've got on my Daiwa, this is a Daiwa Steez. Look at this rod tip. See how soft that is? So I've got a soft rod tip that'll make that bait give when the fish bite it. It'll be easier for me to set the hook, but it's also real easy for me to cast and work this little bait. Very important.
Seems like a lot of these fish have kind of gone down as it's gotten more sunny. And so you got to get the bait down to him. But Rob's been catching a few. I'm gonna head over to him.
Hey, my catfish are getting bigger, Morgan.
Nice.
You said you wanted to do a catfish show sometime this year.
I do, but I want like at least 10-pounders.
Okay. These fins they'll poke you and they'll sting. They actually have a little skin irritant to them and they'll sting a long time. But if you grab it right under the belly like that, I've got this fork between one hand, this one under here, this one's in front of this one. And so I can hold this catfish totally safe. And it's good for him and it's good for me.
Lake Ray Roberts is a large body of water, especially to try to cover in a kayak. So we really had to narrow down where we're going to be fishing today. So we looked at maps, we called some people to try to find out where the fish were. But it's a beautiful lake. It's got lots of fingers and points that stick out. And today we found that most of the fish were hanging off of the points in anywhere from 20 to 50 feet of water. So there was fish all over the water column. One of the most important things for us today was using a fish finder like the Lowrance's to try to see where the fish are in the water column, because they would be on the surface, mid-column, down at the bottom. So you really knew where to work your lure at that certain time.
Sandbass, also known as white bass, silver bass, barfish, and streaker, are native to the central U.S. west of the Appalachians, including the Great Lakes, as well as river systems in the Ohio and Mississippi River valleys. In Texas, the species is native to the Red River drainage. Sandbass are one of the most preferred species among licensed Texas anglers. Schools of sandbass feeding on shad generate much excitement in the fishing community. After fishing non-stop and hooking up almost every cast for about a half an hour, things slow down. It seems like the big ball of shad has moved out of the area, and so have the sand bass.
We had a great little flurry of time where, man, bam, 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 we were all catching fish. And then honestly, it just kind of stopped. We kind of found ourselves dead in the water going, okay, what do we do? We could see fish, we could see bait. We decided, you know what, let's go try another spot. I'd been glassing earlier over one of the places, and I glassed over there and I could see some fish go way across the lake hitting. We had about an hour and a half to fish, so we made a judgment call. Let's trailer up, load up, head to another ramp, came over to Jordan, dumped out at Jordan, and made a 2-mile trek over to an island. Once again, a ton of bait, ton of fish, and we couldn't catch them. And Robbie, as we had just been bouncing them off the bottom, it had worked that morning, long drags, and all of a sudden he hooks up. So I kind of see what he's doing, I ask him, and he tells me, first cast, long drag, hit. And I bet I caught 10 in a row, bam, 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 just using that long drag technique. So technique plays a huge part of understanding these fish and understanding how they're going to bite. We figured it out. That was kind of one of the highlights of my day, is figuring out how we were going to catch those fish. And when we did it, we knew they were there. We could see them. When we did it, that did it for me. That was a great time on the water. We adapted. Team member was with us. He figured it out. Great day for all. Guys, if you want to find out information on fishing your local lakes in your local area, find your Hobie dealer and contact your local fishing team member. These guys know what they're doing. They'll help you out and they'll help you find your way into your first Hobie, and you won't regret it one bit.
This episode of Hobie Outdoor Adventures has been brought to you by Daiwa, advancing the sport of fishing, Ram Mounts, made in the USA, your best connection, and by Hobie Polarized, trusted, quality, heritage.
All right, guys, you ready? Last cast, make it a long one.
The deal was that if you hook another fish, you get to take another cast. And I think there was also a little bit of pride involved. We all made that last cast and we were all hoping that we would hook a fish just to kind of end it off in the right way. You know, it's always nice to catch a fish right before you got to go in instead of fishing for the last half an hour and catching nothing.
I thought you said last cast, Morgan.
What am I supposed to do when there's fish breaking in front of me?
I know, when fish are hitting, you really can't stop. Oh yeah. They love my little.
Another one just hit the surface, you know? Oh, that guy hammered it. Oh, right there.
Oh, Morgan, we gotta go.
Whoa, really? All right, last fish of the trip. Thanks, man. Finishing it off in style.
You know, it's funny, we only started 9 days ago, but trying to remember the highlights of what we did. I actually took a trailer from Texas up to Illinois and Missouri. We met Jackie Smith up there, one of our Hobie partners, big fishing advocate. We really were on crappie. We heard this lake had good crappie in it. And it took some fishing. We had to figure this one out. But we fished and fished, and those crappie just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And we ended up with some nice crappie. So that was a great day, great trip. Saw downtown St. Louis, the Arch, all that. It was a really cool city, man. It's a classy city.
We left Missouri, went through Illinois a little bit, did some zip lining, which was really fun. It's always fun flying at 40 miles an hour over 200 feet of treetop. You know, it's a pretty exhilarating experience. So that was really fun. We hopped on a ferry, crossed the Mississippi.
Started heading down to Oklahoma, met our friend Lucas Stewart from Lawrence. So we went and met him on Chimney Rock Reservoir, did some drop shotting for some bass. We really looked at structure on our Lawrences. He had the structure scan going and taught us a lot on how to point out fish and structure and you know, see those fish and then go back and catch them. We learned a lot there that we used on this trip, which was really neat.
It's always fun to hang out with Luke, especially after I spend a lot of time working with him through emails and phone calls with the Hobie and Lawrence relationship. So we packed it up with Luke, hit the road again.
When we were in Oklahoma, I think we slept a total of 2.5 hours in Oklahoma. Once again, you're rig and tackle late, getting up early, hitting the lake. Driving the next day, we get to Arkansas, swung into Gaston's, and it was such a nice relief to actually sleep a little bit. And we hit Crooked Creek, went and caught smallies. Just had a blast, man. We almost got stuck on the creek at night. We got in right at dark. We all kind of did the whew, because I know I didn't want to sleep out there, and Morgan's afraid of Sasquatch, so that wasn't going to happen.
The Hobies are known for being open water boats because of the Mirage Drive, but a lot of people don't know the Mirage Drive pops out. You can put a plug in there, or you can just fold the fins flat by putting one of the shafts forward. So the boats work great on the river. We caught some nice smallmouth. I learned a lot from Keaton on how to fish a river like that. It was beautiful. We saw deer, we had bald eagles in Arkansas, we had Gastons, which was amazing, the food, the stay.
We got up the next morning and went and hit the White River, and that's kind of, White River's legendary and well-known fishery, so we were excited to put the Hobies on that. You know, we hadn't done anything like that before, and it's a good constant flow coming out of that dam, cold water, and we knew with that Mirage Drive that if we had the right conditions, we could get up and work a lot of areas. So we caught a lot of trout.
We whacked them. We caught a lot of nice rainbows. I caught a couple nice browns, and then once again, Keaton had to school me to catch the big fish again. So he got that beautiful fish. I was really stoked for him.
It's just a great time on the water. I think, honestly, Gaston's is so nice and comfortable, and that river's beautiful, and the time of year, we did not want to leave. But you know what? More fishing lay ahead, so up and we went.
We hit the road again, spent almost a full day traveling, and got to Texas, and then just had another brilliant day.
When you set out to do this, and you're committing time of your work week and budget and all that, you set out to go do this, and you have a plan in your head that's going to kind of work, maybe not, you know, we're going to travel here and here and catch fish. It's always great, but you never know what the weather's going to be like. You never know what the fishing environment's going to be like. And man alive, we really had a great trip. We caught fish everywhere we went. We just went to some new places that we'd never fished before. Each of us caught species that we didn't catch a lot. So we hate to see it end. We knew it was going to end. We're going to pack up here. We're in Texas. We're going to eat barbecue now. And we'll probably do that for the last few meals, and we'll get Morgan on a plane in the morning and get him back to California.
You know, I don't think I'm quite ready to fly back to San Diego. I could keep doing this actually for a while. I think that the fishing and the adventure makes the road tripping and the sleep deprivation and that kind of stuff well worth it. I can't wait to try to do this again. It's been really, really fun.
Thanks for watching our special road trip edition. Oh, and don't forget to check out our Facebook page and learn more about Hobie kayak experiences from people around the world. Coming up, we'll take you to Houma, Louisiana for the coverage of the most prestigious kayak fishing tournaments in the country, the IFA Kayak Fishing Tour Championship, presented by Hobie. Plus, flying across the globe to Australia for the 3rd annual Hobie World Fishing Championship. 46 competitors from 17 countries will battle it out for the world champion title.